Keep them levels up.
Hello guys, welcome back to the podcast. We're back after a long hiatus and a little break over Christmas.
Hiatus was the word I was going to use. People don't really
it?
use that word. I thought, I'm
Oh.
going to say hiatus so people think I'm intelligent, and then you went and stole it.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were going to say that. I was going to put that on my story last night, when I put the question box on around the poll. I nearly put that on and then I thought, is that the right word?
Yeah, it sounds more like a hernia, doesn't it?
Yeah,
How would you spell it?
Hiatus.
Yeah. That's how I would spell it as well.
Yeah, I think that's how you spell it. But yeah, we've had a little break, haven't we, over Christmas? We've had a lot of messages asking about the podcast.
Yeah, I've been getting fucking hammered about it, but we needed a break because it's tiring doing podcasts.
Yes. Dan gets fed up of talking to me.
To be fair, when we was doing them later in the day, it was a bit hard on it. But you know what it's like when the season's beating you to death. I just needed a bit of a break December and January, to be honest. I just wanted to hibernate.
Yeah,
I'll be truly honest.
We're back now.
Yeah, even my social media has been fucking pathetic, but we're back.
And we've got loads of questions, so I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad you put that up last night because I put mine up this morning, so I only got like 5 or something.
You might have some more now if you have a little track, maybe.
I'm using the phone where it is, so I can't even read the ones you've sent me, which is good because it puts me in the moment of surprise when you ask the questions and I have to think about it.
Yeah, you do like that, don't you?
Yeah, I like being put on the spot. I don't like to pre-plan things in my head.
Yeah, so we've got loads of good questions. We've had a solid 2-month podcast reset.
We've been in podcast bed for the last 2 months. Now we are refurbished and ready to go once again.
Yeah. But we were saying it will be good because we've got, I think some more ideas now and obviously more questions and stuff. So it's like
I've got no ideas.
A little podcast revamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, but should we get stuck in? Because we've got loads of questions, so I'm excited to just get on with these.
Yeah, let's just rattle. Nobody cares about our lives anyway. Let's have an update. Nobody cares. Okay. Let's do the questions.
We've got some peptide ones to kick us off. Okay.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'll put these together because they're kind of both similar. So I would love to hear your thoughts on all peptides as they are so popular now, and then best and worst peptides you've tried.
It's a difficult one, isn't it, really? Because obviously there's a fucking million of the bastards. I won't say I've tried all of them. I don't know. Did I tell you about this when I tried them at the back end of last year? Did I tell you about this on the podcast? Have I spoke about it?
About them. You were telling me about them, and then once you told me about them, I was like seeing them everywhere, and I was like, so then I started doing my own research on them as well.
They bloody work. I'll tell you that for now. Usually when these things come out, there's always some new shit in it. Do you know what I mean? And it never turns out to be much, and it just kind of disappears. But they really do work. I tried a few of them myself last year. And obviously tried them quite a lot with clients as well, but I wanted to have them a go myself.
Yeah.
But retatrutide's obviously probably the most prominent one at the minute, but that was wild, to be fair. So I can't remember if I've spoken about this, or if I have, I'm sorry, and I can't remember the exact numbers, but I tried it for, I think, about 2 months or something like that, back end of last year. I think it was like October, November or something. I didn't change my training. I didn't change my diet. I didn't change my output. And I dropped £12.
Oh yeah, you told me about this because I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, and all my obliques and I was thinking, what in the fuck?
That is wild.
So it definitely works. It's hard, isn't it? I mean, do we go around the full list of everything? But I think the most powerful ones, or the most prominent ones that I've been using myself with people, retatrutide, MOTS-C, very good. SLU P332, very good. Obviously, BP 157 and TB500, the recovery peptides for injuries and stuff. They've been about for years, to be fair.
I actually used that BBC when I had a hamstring injury, like tendonitis. It was literally in lockdown, I think I used it. And it literally got rid of, I'd been struggling for years, and it got rid of my tendonitis in literally like a month, I think it.
Yeah, it's wild. I think some things become like chronically inflamed. I think it's good at getting on top of stuff like that. But it does definitely repair things. That's really good. It's really good for just a general day-to-day kind of feel good as well. I ran it for a little bit last year, and I felt fucking great when I was using it, and it healed up loads of little old injuries, which was the reason I started taking it. What else has been quite prominent? Things that I've not got as much experience with, like the NAD+, the GHKC, which is the copper peptide. Not got loads of experience with people using that. A few people are trialing it, but that's more of a little bit of like an anti-aging, feel-good type thing. Not that prevalent with bodybuilding, really. Although it
Yeah.
ties up, has a little bit of crossover. Although I will say, with somebody that I know, that's not a client, that's been using that GHKCU, the Clo, so it's got the
Yeah.
BPC 157TB in it as well, who's had a baby and had quite bad stretch marks, like really bad stretch marks. You know, when they're really bright purple,
Mhm.
you can barely fucking see them.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
And
What's that one called? I haven't heard of that one.
Clo, so it's GHKCU, which is the copper peptide, and then it's
Okay.
got the BPC and the TB in it, as well as
Ah, okay.
KPV, I think it is, that's in that one, which is like an anti-inflammatory for the gut. Um, and like you can't even really see where there was. It's fucking wild.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
because
changed nothing else. That's it.
it just baffles me because I think like God, like
You weren't even taking it for that.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the main ones I know are Mott's, obviously the retatrutide, and the Slew. They're like the main three that I've like researched properly. But I have actually got a couple of clients on Slew, and I've had one or two on the Mott's because obviously I used the Mott's. I just
Yeah.
did obviously some of that. Um, so yeah, but it's so cool, isn't it? And I even had it with because we were talking about this about when you've used it with clients that come away from dieting and you're like, okay, as they build the calories up, they're just not gaining body fat. And I've used it
Yeah.
with a client who previously, like, we haven't really been able to get her calories very high. She's sort
Yeah.
of sat around maybe 17, 1800. Like, she has to diet quite hard, and as she's come up, like, she's just gained weight as she's come up, even though her calories aren't that high. And this
Yeah.
time put that in,
Is
and
this
we
with
went,
Mott's?
she was on Mott's, and
Low dose Retta.
no, she wasn't. She's just started Retta, but she was just on Mott's, and then we added in a bit of Slew as well. And we've managed to get her calories like the highest she's ever been, and she's now like she's like 4 kilograms lighter than when she like last finished her like reverse. So it's just
It's
like
wild.
mental because she's eating so much more. She's doing less cardio,
Yeah.
and actually her body's just responding so well. I can't believe it.
I think the thing is with it just makes people's bodies work better, like
Mm,
most efficiently, instead of like stimulating things to lose fat. And I think it just makes people's bodies work like
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
And that's what I'm seeing as well, especially with people like you say, struggle to stay lean, girls with PCOS and things like that. It's been
Mm,
absolutely fucking like ridiculously game changing. And like I say, they're not just gaining fat, so they can hover around 9, 10, 11, 12 kilos above stage weight, easy as fuck, and get the calories up high as hell. And then it's going to make the prep a lot easier when it comes round. The
yeah,
girls that all came out the back end of the show that was using it last year with us, they've just like the reverse was just like they didn't even feel it. Do you know what I mean? There was nothing. Some of them was first timers, and it's just fucking brilliant to be fair. And to be using things that so far from what we're seeing and all the data backing it up, no downsides to it.
yeah.
You
Because they
will
are
you're
like
laughing.
there's no like super long term research, I guess, is there? But
Well, it depends how long
yeah,
super long is. I think the slew's not got much to back it up, but I
yeah,
think the Mott's and the Retta there's quite a lot behind that to say it's not too
yeah.
much of a drama.
Will made that's what I was just looking for a second ago because I wanted to like understand it properly. Will had made like a spreadsheet with like all the so like what it is, how it works, why it's used, like the science of how it actually works. He'd made like a
Yeah,
little spreadsheet and sent it me,
you
which was
told me
really
about
fun.
that. Yeah, it's cool that.
Yeah, it's so cool. And even things like I was just looking on here now, like even with what you said around the PCOS, like improving like insulin sensitivity and things like that, which would make sense, wouldn't it, as to why? Because obviously, when you got people with PCOS, they're
Yeah,
the bit insulin resistant, so it would make
yeah,
sense as to
because
why it
I
works.
mean that's generally where it starts with the insulin
Yeah,
resistance. They're just naturally, and then obviously it affects the androgens and this and that, and like everybody's a little bit different with how that loops round and where it starts. But I've got girls that have just started a low dose of Retta for that, and all of a sudden they're having regular cycles and the body fat's all in, and like everything's just kind of regulated itself. It's
so
wild.
cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
so
a happy
therefore,
time to be alive.
what a time to prep.
What a time to be alive. If someone had told me when I was bodybuilding when I was young, oh yeah, you don't have to be hungry, I'd be like, what?
No, God. Imagine if you could prep right and you could feel like not hungry and have good energy. Like imagine how easy, because they're the two things, aren't they, in prep? Like your energy and your
Yeah,
appetite.
yeah, they're the main things, and it's giving you both. And then when you add the mots in at the back end of the prep, fucking hell. And the slow makes you feel amazing on the cardio. You can use less clen.
Yeah.
A lot of the other things that people would have been pushing possibly for a bit more of advantage, like T3, you
Mm.
probably swerve that because it's not as needed.
Yeah.
If you were just throwing that in for the extra, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, that depends what your thyroid does through the prep and whatnot. But yeah, so just really good. What was I going to say? The one thing I'm seeing crop up a lot on Instagram that's getting lost in translation, I think, with a lot of people is the carb up side of it. No, you need to be able to eat to carb up and all like that.
Yeah.
Which I think for a big bodybuilders, it's going to be an issue. Really, you need to probably be able to taper that out towards the back end.
Right. That makes
But
sense.
for me or my clients, it's been zero issue because, as you know, we don't do any big load ups anyways.
Mhm.
We kind of start freshening the physique up from about 10 days out,
Yeah.
and just slowly build things up so we can work around that really easily. So we're
Yeah.
not
That
running
makes sense.
into any problems. If anything, it's making them look better.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense because you don't need a load of food anyway when you're getting on stage as a
Nah, nah.
female.
Bikini girls doing big carb ups and that's stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything apart from cause disruption, you know.
Mad. So just to touch on like lengths as well, because I know with you, like you mentioned about obviously cycling it, like doing 8 weeks on, 8 weeks off. So have you been doing that then with like all of them, or how have you been running those in terms of like training?
So this is something I'm in the middle of figuring out at the minute because I think this is
Yeah.
where the experience is lacking so far as what people are meant to do and what not to do. Originally with the mots, they want much there, and then I have been reading a lot of things that are kind of saying you need to only do 4 weeks, you need to only do 8 weeks, blah blah blah.
A bit like mixed
So
fitness.
yeah, so at the minute, and if you're watching this in the future, this might have changed by the time it comes around, but I'm doing 8 weeks on, 4 weeks off with mots.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 weeks on, 4 weeks off, and that's working nicely, and giving people a little bit of a break and refresh. So that's where we're at with that. And like I said, time might change things with that, but I think running anything forever's probably not amazing. But it depends what you're doing with it as well. Like the retatrutide, like it depends what you're doing with it. Like if people are saying, oh, you should only stay on for 16, 20 weeks and this and that. I think that's probably true if you're going for like full fat loss with it and you're running
Yeah.
like what, especially what fat people do, 8 milligrams per week or whatever. But I think if you've got a little baby dose in the background of 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram per week,
Yeah. Just keep it ticking over.
and you're just using it there for the insulin sensitivity, and it's not affecting your heart rate too much and things that it can kind of tie over a little bit with, then yeah, cool. I don't see any
Yeah.
problem with that at the minute.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm.
Interesting. And then
Yeah.
slew just adding in kind of when people more so diet. Is that what you've been doing?
Yeah, I've been using that more for dieting because
Yeah,
it's
that's what I've been
more
doing
of a
with my client.
fat loss thing. I know a lot of people are running it in the off season. I'm not against that to be honest, but
Yeah.
I like to kind of keep it in the arsenal for cutting because then when we add it in, it adds a little bit more of
Yeah.
an effect through the prep, and then it allows you if you are running clen and whatnot to run that a little bit lower, and
Mm.
just seems to the synergy between them two seems to just be really nice. You're
Yeah.
not getting all the extra anxiety from the higher clen, do you know what I mean? And I don't run clen high anyways. You know, I'll never go over kind
Yeah.
of 60 to 80 micrograms really. So if we can keep that 20 to 40 micrograms and have the slew in there, laughing in it.
Yeah, the Clen and caffeine combo on prep is just like a whole new experience.
Slow though, I use that some mornings just when I want a bit of a boot up the
Yeah.
arse. It feels fucking great.
Yeah, I'm gonna, because you spoke about that in my little diet that I'm doing, and I'm excited because I haven't tried that yet, so I'm quite excited to give that a go.
Yeah,
And
it
just see
does
how,
feel good. Like
yeah,
it,
just see
it
how
just,
that
it
feels.
just, it's like a clean energy is the best way I'll
Yeah.
explain it. It's like a really clean energy.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? I've got really like it's super interesting.
Yeah, I think this is a massive pivoting point within fitness, bodybuilding, all the rest of it. Like you're going to get these things that come along every lifetime, I suppose, where
Yeah.
things like change a little bit. And I think this is probably it.
Mm. Yeah, it's cool. Definitely a cool thing. Um, we missed your podcast. When is it out, and will you keep it up?
Yes, we have got our podcast momentum back.
We've got a slot. We've got a Friday slot now.
Yeah, we're going for a Friday slot.
Not in the evening when we're like brain frazzled.
Yeah, and I'm trying my hardest not to yawn because I give all my energy to my daytime.
It's going to be better, and it will, because I think we did one, didn't we, with Meg? And then we're like, yeah, we're back on it. And then I think we did one, and then we just didn't do it again. But we are every other Monday, the podcast will be out.
We are here for you. Is that DW in reverse one you're looking at, or is it just in reverse for me? Does that look forward or backwards?
No, that's the right way.
Is it? It's backwards for me. It says WO.
No, it's all good. I
WO.
can see it properly.
Yeah, that's all right.
Like the way you're looking
You
at
see
the
me
camera.
relaxing into my chair now. I'm feeling a bit too
You'll be
calm.
snoozing by the end.
Leah, just take the next 2 questions. I've fucking had enough.
Right, thoughts on TRT cycles for women. A few coaches and educators push this as safer options than Anavar. Is this true? I don't have enough knowledge on this, I'm going to be honest, so I'm going to put this one onto you.
TRT cycles, so that means you would be I mean, TRT usually means you would run it consistently, generally, because it's replacement therapy. That's what it stands for.
Yeah, it's like testosterone. That's what?
Yeah, it's testosterone replacement therapy. That's what it is. So, I mean, it's not necessarily something you would cycle, but I suppose you could. I try and swerve it if I can, because it's a sensitive question, this, because people are going to take things that I say some maybe too literally and say it depends. So I think if you've got super fucking low testosterone, like for a woman, now that what's the range on that? I think it ranges between, is it 0.3 and 1.7 or 1.8? I think it changes, depends on who you get your bloods with. And I think if you're really low down, like 0.3s, maybe 0.4, do you know what I mean? Maybe it's worth it to make you probably feel better and function a little better, and it'll be a little better. But then if I've got people that when we run the bloods and they're kind of sat at like 0.678, I'm not going to start suggesting interrupting that, because like what you've got to think about as well is that even though the natural range is between 0.3 and 1.7, if somebody naturally sits for their own body and they're healthy at 0.7, say, for example, and you're then going to double that, everything that they've experienced in their life to develop them to where they're at, so far as the face, the voice, that like all these like feminine things, like just because somebody else naturally sits at 1.5 and is still super feminine, it doesn't mean to say that if you then double your testosterone, you're not going to start seeing masculating effects.
Yeah, that makes so much sense, actually. It's like where it sits right for you.
Yeah, and especially over the long haul, like, so then if you start doing TRT over years, do you know what I mean? Then I would think that's going to start to accumulate probably more issues if you've just doubled where your testosterone sits. There, I mean, it's very person dependent, and I don't want to just give broad information because it is difficult. And look, I have got some clients that do run TRT, and it's been their own suggestion generally, because they feel a bit crap and they've noticed this and they've done the research and we've spoke about it and all the rest of it. So I'm not saying it's something that I don't do, but generally, then people are going to sit right on the lower end, and we're going to give that a slight little bump to make them feel better, and they're going to start paying attention for side effects and all the rest of it. But it's not something. It was very popular at one point, and I did start to fall down the trap of a little bit when it first came out, thinking it was right. But the more time's gone on, like just doubling your testosterone, just because it's in the range that's given as normal from a broad spectrum of fucking information across. When you got to remember when they put this information together of spectrums of like areas, all they do is they measure the full fucking public, every bit of information they've got, and then they shoot somewhere in the middle of the lower. That's all that actually means. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't mean to say that specifically for you. Like I've got girls that have got PCOS that the testosterone levels is 2.8, and I mean I could name some of them. You would know they are. They're the most feminine, nice squeaky voice kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like you would never know that. But then I've got some girls who are not like that, and if I put them on TRT and they went up to 2.8, we'd be having fucking problems. Do you get what I mean?
It's individualized, isn't it? It's hard to just make like a blanket statement with it. And
just you got to be really careful with that one, and just make sure you've got somebody in your corner who gives a fuck, and not just trying to put a load of muscle on you so they can stand next to you with a truck. Do you know what I mean?
You just want to be. I think you just want to be careful when you start doing things around like testosterone as a woman. You just need to be very careful with it, I guess. Like, I have a couple of women who who are on HRT, who are like a little bit maybe, you know, in the 40s, 50s, that are on HRT that has been advised by like a medical professional that are on a little bit of testosterone.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm not against it, because if it's in the gutter, you're going to feel like shit. And
Yeah.
it does happen, especially as people start to get older a little bit, that needs balancing. And I've got clients who are on prescribed TRT who are a
Yeah.
little bit older.
Just like a very
And
low dose, just to get
yeah.
rid of
And it's
anything.
all
Yeah.
tracked and everything like that, and that's cool. Like I say, I'm not against it. There's
Yeah.
just context behind every situation. If
Yeah.
you're just measuring your test levels and then seeing where the top end is and then just shooting for that,
Yeah.
you just need to be cautious about that.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think
That
I've.
was all a trend about 3 years ago, if you remember.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I guess with Anavar as well, like, you know, as long as you're not being stupid with it, then
Just don't be everything in moderation. Don't be a fucking wally. Like I'll always say, like we always try and well, we don't always try. Then I'll never let somebody do more than 2 little cycles a year if they want to do that, and just be cautious of how many years you're doing
yeah,
that for. Do you know what I mean? If you do
yeah,
it, if you're in and out of bodybuilding doing that for 3 years, you run two, or maybe even one little anavar cycle per year. I've never actually seen that damage anybody with 5 milligrams maximum, 10 milligrams. If you're going to start running 20 migs for 12 weeks, you're going to
yeah,
have that's where you're going to start seeing problems. But again, that's person dependent as well.
yeah,
You need to be careful and make sure you're tracking everything. But honestly, in 15 years, I've not seen that wreck anybody yet. If you stick by that, and the little notion that seems to have died off now, that Primobolan enanthate injectable is a milder drug. It doesn't show up like that in the body. You can fucking trust me on that.
yeah. Because we've done podcasts on that before, where we've talked about Primo and obviously that being like the effect of that versus Anavar and everything like that.
Yeah, because on paper it's a weaker drug, but the
Yeah,
way it's administered and put into the body with a longer half life and sits there rising in the body through the week, there's more in there at once. Do you get what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So it
Whereas
lifts.
Anavar
There's
has got
more in the
obviously
system
longer.
going in. It's not like Anavar where it's just dropping
Yeah,
in and out every day because it's got a short half life. So you're actually lower across the board, even though it's a stronger drug.
yeah, that makes
You've
sense.
got maybe a slightly weaker drug, but more of it in the system over a prolonged period of time
Yeah,
because it sits.
yeah,
So that's why people get the primo voice and all the rest of it,
yeah,
even though it's touted scientifically. This is the thing with scientifically in real life; it doesn't always fucking stack up like that.
yeah.
And it's the
The
same with the
research is
peptides as well. And as much as I love the research and seeing all that and everything, I'm going to go off what I'm seeing in real life and experience and speak to other coaches
yeah,
and get the feedback like that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
100%.
I'd always choose that over what the papers say.
Yeah, because it's going to be different, isn't it, in real life than on paper.
Yeah,
Um. Okay, next question. Best tips for dealing with imposter syndrome when starting out training as a bodybuilder. I like that question.
you'll probably understand that more than me.
So,
I don't really get what that
okay,
means.
so I think this is basically meaning like when someone's starting out, they feel like they're not good enough, or they feel like
Do you mind if I eat a banana while you answer this question?
you go for it. I'll talk and you eat.
I'll try
Hopefully, you
not to
can't
make
hear Dan
loud
chomping on
slapping.
his banana.
I'll try not to make like it's only a small banana. I don't have well, I do have quite big hands actually, but it is only a very small. This is a baboon-sized banana. This is not a gorilla-sized banana.
Is it a kid? It's a kid's fun size banana.
I think so. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
winter in it, so it's hard to find a good
yeah,
banana.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, essentially when you're starting out as a bodybuilder and you feel like you're not good enough or you've got a bit of imposter syndrome. So my take on this, right, is everyone starts from somewhere, and like you are maybe comparing yourself to someone who's been doing this for a really, really long time and has been where you are. So like everyone starts from a position where they're like new to training, like everyone walks into the gym for the first time, like so everyone's been through that process. And I think if you're looking at someone who's been going through building phases and dieted and, you know, done multiple preps, of course they're going to look different because they've been through it multiple times. So I think best thing to do in that scenario is literally just focus on, like, there's no point, there's nothing gained from that. And I think it's exciting when you start because you've got all this potential, like you don't know what you're capable of achieving. So I think rather than viewing it as like a negative thing and being like I'm not good enough, just use it as like a learning process, like be excited about it rather than viewing it as this like negative thing. Because I think
Is that what that means? They think they're
yes,
not good enough.
yeah, imposter syndrome is like you feel like an imposter, so you feel like you're not good enough to do it. So you know, when people start bodybuilding and they're like, "Oh, I'm not good enough to compete," like, and I don't feel ready to compete. Like I don't feel like I'm going to do very well, or that type of thing.
Yeah.
I feel
Just
like
don't fucking worry about it. Just go lift some
yeah,
weights and eat some chicken. It's all good. Nobody gives a fuck more than you. You know what I mean? They don't. It's not that deep. I don't mean to just brush it off, but
yeah,
just go gym, man. And just have some fun. You don't have to.
yeah,
You don't have to tell everyone you're a bodybuilder and post everything about being a bodybuilder. Just go lift some weights, drink some water, eat some food, get some good sleep, and then go and do it again the next day. That's all bodybuilding is.
yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I think as well, like you're only going to get better, right? Like when you start out, like you're only going to improve as time goes on. So I think just like enjoy the process. And it's really cool as well, like seeing yourself improve and seeing yourself develop as you go through it. It's exciting. So I think just
First
enjoy
2 or 3 years
it.
is fucking great, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, like I
Because
look
you
back
just
at
like
mine.
grow like it's just wild.
The start, honestly, like I look back at mine from 2018 when I first competed to like 20, like even when we first did that prep 2021 and 2022, and I'm like, God, the difference in like 3 years of like just training, eating, following a plan, like a little bit of dieting here and there, but the difference is absolutely like that's the best progress I ever made, and it's
You
like
think it's going to last forever as well, don't you? You think you're
yeah,
just
and
going to
then you get
continue
through
doing
and
that?
you're like, damn,
The first few years I competed, because I just competed every year from like 2008. Now
yeah,
I was getting 15 pound of stage weight a year.
that is mental.
A year, and I know that's abnormal. That is an abnormal
Yeah,
amount because people was like, "You can't gain that much," and I was like, "I have," and then I compete, and I'm like 15 pound up. And the first like 3 or 4 years, it was just fucking
yeah.
ridiculous every time I went back on stage. And then it just got less and less and less and
Yeah,
less the more I went on.
yeah, yeah, it's mad. So yeah, my advice from that would be like don't worry about anyone else because you can't control anyone else anyway. You can't control anyone else outside. Like just focus on yourself, like getting better in yourself, and remember like everyone starts from somewhere with it. So all you can do is get better when you start out.
Yeah, and truly, nobody cares.
Yeah, it's not really like it.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I feel like when you
Everyone
bodybuild,
thinks people are watching what they're doing, but nobody really cares.
yeah,
In a nice way.
no, I know what you mean. It is true.
Leah's had my output on this on life before, haven't you? I just like
Yeah, you're right. It's not
nothing
that
we do
deep. I'm like,
matters.
yeah, you're right.
Nothing we do matters in a good way. So I just mean, just
Yeah.
enjoy yourself. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I feel like we've had some funny conversations about that where we
Yeah,
like
because we have
actually,
exactly the same point of view, but a different outlook on it. So you're like, nothing we do matters, and that's a bad thing. But I'm like, nothing we
yeah,
do matters. So just have a good time because nobody cares.
yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, we're just so irrelevant. Like we really don't actually matter that much. Like that's
Yeah,
the
and
good
I'm
part
like, I
is,
know that's the good thing.
yeah,
We're all no. What is that thing they say? We'll all be dead in 100 years, and no one will remember our name anyway. So
yeah,
just do whatever you want. That's kind of how I see it.
yeah. I'm like, that's terrifying, and you're like, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh god, fun times. Um, right. Any advice on navigating off-plan meals post prep? I continually overdo it and use it as a reason to overeat, which I know will set me back in the long run.
Yeah, it's an hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, I
That's
do
why I
think,
keep them out for a few weeks.
yeah, keep the
And I
off
know
balance
people
out.
probably think, bloody hell, that's a bit bad. But usually I've got a bit of a 3 week rule where I don't reintroduce them until 3 weeks after the prep.
Yeah,
So I have everyone, obviously, I'll let them have one as soon as they finish
yeah,
competing. I'll usually give them the night of the show and the next day off to fill the boots. But then I have them back on plan the following day with a raised amount of calories. So it's more
yeah,
for them to eat. Put filling foods on there, oats and potatoes and things that are going to help fill them up a little bit, and then just reverse them away from that, and then just don't give them a cheat meal for 3. Because once you've had a taste of
yeah.
it,
I was literally just gonna say this.
you can't stop, and there's nobody can stop. You're not on your own on that. Fucking hell,
Yeah,
it's the hardest thing in the world. Um, so if you just keep them out for 3 weeks, then but by the time you've got your calories up over 3 weeks, and then you're less like feeling crazy about food. You might still overeat on them first few weeks, but it's less likely than immediately post show.
yeah,
And that for me, I found that as the best way to do it with
yeah,
people.
yeah. 100%. And something that helped me as well because I really struggled with this on my first prep in 2018. Um, I I just did whatever I wanted basically post show, and I was in the same boat. Like couldn't stop eating, had loads of snacks in the house. Basically like a month after competing, didn't even look like I'd done a prep.
Yeah,
And
that's the worst bit in it. That's the head
oh
fuck. You
god,
spend all them weeks grinding it down,
yeah,
and then 4 days later you look in the mirror, you're like, I'm back to square one.
literally, literally. So yeah, but the biggest advice I would say, you told me this and it stuck with me, and I use this with my clients now and it works so well, is treat the first 4 weeks after your prep like a prep. So
Yeah.
have the same adherence, follow your plan, like don't put loads of like meals out in, because it's natural, isn't it? Like you compete and then you make loads of plans with your friends after,
Yeah,
and
you
then
see
you can't
first timers
stop.
doing it. You try and tell them,
Yeah,
and they won't. Oh yeah, blah, 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 and they won't have it,
yeah,
and then that's it. They're fucked. But yeah, that is what I've always said. If you got a 20-week prep,
yeah,
imagine it as a 24-week prep,
yeah, yeah.
and then it's in your head that you're not just going ballistic afterwards.
Yeah, and don't keep snacks in the house either, because you'll tell yourself, "Oh, I'll be fine, I'll be fine." But once you start eating, you won't be able to stop. So at least
Yeah,
if you're out at a restaurant and you order something, it's portion controlled. So I think that the best
true.
thing to do when you come out of prep and you have like your off plans, once you've done the initial maybe 3 or 4 weeks, is just go when it's in a controlled environment, because then you can't overeat. And then when you come home, you've only got your normal plan food in, so it makes it much harder to overeat versus like if you've just got loads of food in the house, or if you're having like a takeaway where you've got unlimited food, you do like just keep
Yeah,
going.
that's good advice. I never really thought about that, to be fair.
Yeah, really
And it's
works.
going to cost you a load more money if you end up over ordering in the restaurant as well.
Yeah, and also like when you're with people, I found this in my first prep, like when you're with people, like you don't want to overeat, whereas when you by yourself or you're in the house and you've just got snacks, like you can eat as much as you want and no one
That's
cares.
true.
So
Yeah,
I get my clients to do this that struggle with like overeating on sweet food. I'll say, right, don't have it in the house. Then if you want to have a dessert, order a dessert when you're out, because then it's a portion controlled dessert versus it being like a sharing pack of like dairy milk or chocolate or biscuits or whatever. So then it's much harder to overeat because obviously you've not got the access to it.
yeah. Good,
So
good.
yeah, if you can control your environment a lot more, I think that makes a lot of difference
Yeah.
when you want prep. I remember after my first prep, I went to I competed at Body Power, and I bought like loads of protein bars. Like remember like
Oh,
the Quest protein bars? Can you remember them?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever happened to them? Are they still about?
I don't know, but I just remember after my show, I literally ate like 8 protein bars, and it messed me up
Oh,
in
his
so many
stomach. I
ways.
bet he was farting. I bet you
Oh
farted. I bet you
god,
farted the car all the way
I
home.
just had the worst stomachache I've ever
I
had
bet you
in
did.
my
Yeah,
life.
they give bad stomach ache at the
I
best of time.
know.
Protein bars, worst thing
Oh,
ever.
awful. Yeah, so hopefully that helps a little bit in terms of navigating that. Okay, feel like I've barely made progress since I competed in November. Looking at other athletes competing around the same time, they seem head and shoulders above where I am. How do I stop comparing myself?
November. That was only a couple of months ago.
Yeah, mute them.
Yeah. Eh?
Mute them.
Yeah, just mute everyone. It
Yeah,
doesn't really matter. Yeah, you're not going to have made loads of progress since November though, because you'll have spent December recovering and a bit of
probably
January,
January as
and
well.
then you're like, well, then we're like a month into
Yeah,
doing what you need to do. So, and it's probably going to look like you've made less progress because you've covered everything back over with some body fat, so you can't see
yeah,
now.
yeah,
But I mean, I always say this, like realistically, and I always go back to it. If you're training as hard as you possibly can, getting a full amount of sleep, not missing any meals, your body
yeah,
will grow as fast as it can grow.
yeah,
There ain't much more to it than that. Obviously, you need to be doing the right things. You need to be doing the right training. You need to be eating the right, and all the rest of it. And everything needs to be planned. But your mum and dad dictate how fast you grow
yeah,
more than
genetic.
anybody else do because
Yeah,
it's them genetics that you've got. So you might get some super, and you don't know as well. Some of these people that you watch, you might have just fucking decided to load themselves up with gear after the show,
yeah,
and they're causing damage that you know what I mean. Like
yeah. You
you
never
don't
know.
know who's doing what and taking this and whatnot. And some people have stayed a little bit leaner, so visibly it
Yeah,
looks like more. And yeah, there's a lot of factors involved, but realistically, just focus on your own race, mute everybody else,
yeah,
and just crack on. Like there's
yeah.
like there's nothing we can say that's going to make them people that you're looking at look
Yeah.
less impressive to you. So just don't look at them.
Yeah, exactly. I do this sometimes if I do this in business, if there's like coaches where I'm like sometimes find myself comparing, I'll just mute them for a bit and I'll just like remove myself from it, because I just think it's
Yeah,
like with anything at the end of the day, right? Like you can't control what anyone else is doing, how they show up, like what they're doing. You can't control that. But I just think as well, if you just be really honest with yourself and just look and be like, okay, is there anything else that I can improve on? Like, am I being consistent?
yeah. Focus
Rather
on
than
that.
wasting your energy being like, what are they doing? Like,
Yeah,
look at your own routine and look at, okay, if you're not happy with your progress, is there anything else that you could improve, and be honest with yourself, because if there's not, then sound, just keep cracking on and doing what you're doing and you'll make progress. But there might be something
Use it as motivation, eh?
yeah, but there might be something you can pull yourself up on and be like, oh, actually, like, I'm missing
Yeah.
some meals,
I'm only
or
actually sleeping 6 hours. I
yeah,
could probably sleep 7 if I tried a bit
yeah,
harder.
yeah, exactly. So I think just use it as like, look inward rather than always looking at what everyone else is doing, because that is just wasting energy at the end of the day.
And then you're going to feel better as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because it makes you feel shit as well when you're always comparing yourself to other people. Like you always. Amy said this to me, Amy Lawther, and this like really stuck with me. Is we always compare up, so we always compare to people
That's
who are
true,
ahead.
actually. Yeah.
It's so I think it's so. I never thought about it, but I was like, oh my god, you're so right. Like we always compare up at people who have more in anything, so like in life or business or even in bodybuilding, but we never compare down. And actually, when you think about it, there's so many people that, not that they're doing worse, but there's so many people who maybe started out where you were 5-6 years ago that are,
Yeah.
that you never even think about. Like we always look at people who we think are ahead of us. So of course we're always going to feel like we're not doing good enough.
Yeah. It didn't really happen to me. I'm quite content
Yeah.
always with where I'm at. It doesn't really like, sometimes I look at other people to give myself a bit of a boot up the ass for, for a little bit of
Yeah.
competition, or like a bit of like, all right, come on, I need to get fucking cracking on now, otherwise
Yeah.
I'm going to get left behind sort of thing. But I'm always real, what's the word? Where you're just like, great. I'm just
Content.
happy for where I'm at, wherever it is. And as long as I'm trying to improve a little bit,
Yeah.
I don't really get that.
I do think that's more of a girl thing though, because Will's very
Yeah.
like, meh, whatever. Whereas I do think a lot of
Yeah. It just
girls
doesn't really
are
matter. Yeah.
comparative.
Yeah.
But I think it takes a while to get to that point as well. Like I think, because I feel very much like that now, like very just happy and like focused on myself. But I definitely have been through lots of times where I'm like feel like I'm just never good enough, or I'm never doing enough, or I always could be doing more. So I do think that is more like a female thing as well.
Yeah. I always surround myself with people, or try my hardest to surround myself with people that are better than me or
Yeah,
doing better than me. If you was using a scale of doing betterness, whether it be people within business, or whether they're making more money or this or that or whatever it might be, I always try and make sure I'm around that, because it kind of drags me up.
yeah, that's what you want though, isn't it? Because you're gonna be forced to level up then, aren't you? Really, if you're around people like that.
Yeah, I like to try and make sure I'm the least successful in the room, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think that feels good to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people though I think don't think about it like that. A lot of people would then they like being the best because then it makes them feel good about themselves because they feel like they're. I think that's how a lot of people do
Yeah, I
things.
feel like I'm in the wrong room then.
That's how it should be though, but I think a lot of people don't feel like that.
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah,
people
no.
compare in like a negative way rather than using it as like learning.
It's mad, isn't it, really? Because there's so much of everything to go around for everybody. You don't have to
100%.
worry about what everybody else is doing, whether it be your
Yeah.
business. There's millions of clients in the world that you could be having, or
Yeah.
whether what car you want to drive or whatever. You can always work at trying to. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever it is you're into. I don't know, but there's always just so much more of everything. So there's no need to be
Yeah.
down about anything.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I love cars. I do like cars. I spend most of my spare time looking at nice cars on the internet. I just love them.
Oh dear. So do I, to be fair. I mean, this my car now is like the first nice car I've ever had in my life, and when I bought
Yeah,
it, I was just like,
I
"Come."
remember because
I
I
sent
was
you a
there.
video,
Because
didn't I?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you was at the obviously you brought it to the podcast when we used to do it at the studio,
Oh
didn't you?
yeah,
Yeah, and I
yeah,
seen you grafting for all that time, flying,
yeah.
and you were still dragging that car around.
I
And I was like,
know.
"Come on,
Little
Leah."
Fiesta. I know. I think I convinced myself for so long. I was like, I don't really need it. Like, I've got a perfectly good car. Like, it's um, I don't
There's
know.
something about a car though when you own your own business. I
Yeah,
mean, we can call this a business, I suppose, even though it's a job. That just when you've got, I just don't know, it just makes it so much better.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? There's just
yeah,
something about it. I've always tried to have a nice car
yeah.
within my own kind of reach
Mhm.
since I've been self-employed. But funnily enough, when I was employed before that, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah. It's like a little reward though, isn't it? Because I feel like for so long I was like, I never bought nice things for myself ever. Like all my money would go like back into my business, which obviously it does, especially like when you're building it.
Yeah,
But
of
then I
course.
kind of felt like guilty for like buying nice things. Like even when me and Will got the house, like I never shared it or anything because I was like, the last thing that I want to do is come across like I'm showing off
Yeah, I know
whatever.
exactly what you
Yeah,
mean.
yeah. I definitely got a lot
Yeah,
better at that now because I'm like, well, I still put a lot of time and effort back into my business, but it also like gives you a bit of a reward, doesn't it, for like all the work you've put in? So I think why
yeah,
not? Like if you work hard, you can have like a little bit of nice stuff for yourself as well, can't you?
yeah. Rebecca nearly had to bend my arm up my back to get that last car that I got because I nearly backed out of it because it just seemed too bold of a move.
Oh, the one that you've got now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really
She
nice one.
she had to really talk me into that towards the end. I was
Yeah,
like, I
but you
don't
do
really
love that
need
car
this.
though.
Oh, I fucking love that.
Yeah,
I've had that car for 2.5 years now, and I still love it as much every morning when I walk up to it
yeah.
as the first day I bought it.
Yes, it is nice though, isn't it? Like if it's worth it when you get that sort of feeling from it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, enough about us.
Anyway, okay, next question. Which DW pros are doing PCA finals? I think you've got a lot, haven't you, this time?
Um, got Monique doing figure.
Oh yeah.
She's coming back this year. I got a couple of other pros doing bits, but they're not wanting to post about it and mention it just yet, so I'm not going to say too much. But I know Monique won't give a shit. She's doing figure, yeah. She's back, and she's going to be mightily improved as well. To be fair,
When did she? Was that like 2024? She competed.
yeah, 24, wasn't it? Yeah, I get lost with my years, me, but yeah, yeah. So she'll have
Yeah.
been 2 years since she competed when she gets back
Yeah.
up, yeah.
Oh,
And
nice.
we're in a good spot, like.
Nice. So you can't name anyone else.
No, no, not at the minute.
Okay. Return
It is
pending.
a
We'll
busy
find out
year
when.
though. I mean, Val's back. She's made no secret about that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, Val's back, I suppose. She's not bothered
Val,
about it.
I've just got really into following Val's traveling adventures, to be honest.
Val looks fucking ridiculous at the minute. Like fucking ridiculous. I said to her the other day, normally when someone comes back and it's like Val 2.0,
Yeah.
yeah, she's gone straight to like 3.5. I said we've missed that 2.0. We're
Yeah.
going straight to 3 now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks fucking wild. So I'll
Well,
be
she was
interested.
insane even like the first time she competed, wasn't she?
Yeah, that looks like a baby compared to what she's
Oh,
going
I'm
to be back
excited for
now.
that. I'm
Yeah,
actually really excited to watch because I feel like I didn't really go to many shows last year because I was ill basically when all my clients were competing. So I'm really excited actually this year to go and watch some more shows.
yeah. I'm excited for that one because Val had a bit of a rough run on that last one. We
Yeah,
had
I
some
remember
issues,
all
didn't we?
that.
Like she first timers was nails.
Yeah,
British, her back got pulled out like 5 days
yeah,
before. She couldn't walk or pose, and then I think a period came on the foot, and her body just wasn't right at the British. Even though she won, she'd have probably won the overall. I think if she'd have been where she kind of should have been, but obviously it still paid off, and then she looked really good in Germany. But yeah, I think we're going to see a different package this time
yeah.
completely.
I'm excited.
Ellie's back as well.
Yeah, I've seen bits of Ellie.
Still natural. Still natural. And
Wild.
fucking delts. And what the fuck? Yeah, she's so driven. That kid is so fucking driven. Honestly, she just breathes it, and it shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's cool. So she been like off season since when she competed, pretty much. Or
Yeah, we've done a couple of little cuts. We've just finished a little tidy up just now.
yeah.
And we've got a sat whatever we are, 10 or 11 kilos above stage weight at the minute.
Is she
So,
doing this
oh,
second of this year?
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously we're moving into athletic figure
Yeah,
now.
that'll be cool.
She's staying natural though. She's
Yeah.
staying natural because we have kind of spoke about it, but I said, you don't need to
Yeah.
do that. What's the point? Do you know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't need it. Don't use it.
Definitely. Oh no, I'm really excited for that. That'll be cool.
Yeah. So yeah, buzzing for that.
Yeah, exciting. Um. Okay. You've touched on this before, but do people who've had anorexia make better and easier bodybuilders?
This is another one that needs to be fucking careful talking
Yeah,
about
definitely.
because there's a million different type of people that have got a million type of different brains,
Yeah.
recovery points, where they are in the journey, and all the rest of it from it. I have said a few times in the past, and I always used to like flinch a little bit when I said this because it sounds a little bit awful, but
Yeah.
I think sometimes when people have completely recovered and they're absolutely okay and they're right out the back end of it, being into bodybuilding is not necessarily a bad thing because obviously the way they control food and the way they're like very very meticulous with the problems that they've had. I think putting that into something that makes you eat decent amount of calories,
Yeah.
you're eating all your vegetables, whole foods,
Yeah.
proteins, good grains, carbohydrates, and all the rest of it. Um, I just don't see any real downside to that, apart from if it becomes a little bit over obsessive with the getting lean part and they kind of get
Yeah.
stuck and dragged back into that. But
And
all
then
the
they don't
girls that I
recover
work with
from.
who have been there, um, I've definitely made sure that they're completely recovered, and I've always got a little bit of one eye on that as well in case I see things starting to creep up. But to
Yeah.
be honest, these lasses, they're really like self-aware as
Yeah, they
well.
really
So I've had
are.
people start and then after a month or two go, I'm not ready for this. I need to go. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's good.
Which is great. But if they're, I've also got tons of girls who've had eating disorders in the past, and I wouldn't have even fucking known apart from if it comes
Yeah.
up randomly. They've not even told me sometimes. And they'll see them from like 10 years ago. I'll be like, I didn't even know that. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think I think it's a decent outlet in a sense because it has them training my weights, building muscle, so they've got a stronger body, stronger mental um, connection around food, as in like they're eating all healthy foods all the time and all the rest of it, and not like mass restricting for days on end and all the rest of it. Um, and yeah, so like I say, I've got to be cautious with because I don't know who I'm talking to here,
Yeah.
but I mean the audience, not just the person who's asked
Yeah,
the
I know what you mean.
question. But yeah, as long as they've seek the right help and they're out the back end of it and they're good, yeah, I don't see it as a negative thing.
Yeah, it's just making sure I think you're not diving into it before you've done the work you need to do to like fully recover. Because if you're going back into it and you're using it, because a lot of people will use it as like a masking thing, as like it's okay
Stay
to
lean,
get to get lean and to get super shredded.
yeah, for a
But
reason,
obviously,
so to speak.
yeah, but you need to also be okay with obviously the gaining body fat and the not sitting in that space. So I think, like you said, it's just making sure that the recovery process has been done properly before they look to like actually going into a prep or anything.
Yeah,
So we decided to wrap this episode up here because it was a really, really long episode. So this is the first half, and the second half of this Q&A will be in our next episode coming very soon.